Daniel Miller. Go there, sir.
Well, what's good, you ask? I dropped the P off my B.
Got
So
the P off your B. Mm,
no
mm,
longer provisional broker, full-fledged, 100%
Dog.
grade A North Carolina broker.
Stop it with big dogs. Good job, Daniel.
Thank you.
So, what does this mean?
Well, this means that in a few months, whenever my license would have exploded, it's not going to explode now. I get to keep
Mm-hmm.
selling and buying real estate in North Carolina for other people. Um,
More
for money,
compensation.
I was about to say for money. Um, it means that on top of the 75 hours that I did a year ago to get my provisional license, I've now knocked out an additional 90 hours to go on top.
You did. You did.
Um, you don't really think about that part much. That, oh, 75 hours, that's not bad. 165 hours later.
I feel like SpongeBob. 1,000,000 years later.
Right. Uh, so
165 hours. Uh-huh.
I am interested. Do all the states? I know we don't really know other states as well as we know North Carolina, but
Mm-hmm.
I've
I
noticed the term provisional is used in other states. I don't know if they do it that same route.
I think there are less than 20 states that do it the same way we do. And I
Okay,
only know this from having people in classes from other states. Um, and many states don't even, there's just there are still lots of states that are salesperson versus broker states. And then some states it's just you once you get your license, go, unless you decide to become what we call broker in charge and what they call head broker or managing broker.
makes sense.
So North Carolina be doing the most, but I'm happy we do a lot because
Mhm.
of the states where I talk to where I've had other people, I think that we offer the most protection as agents for our clients. Now the scary part is that because we have so much protections and we are there's so much liability on us. There's so much liability on us, if you know what I'm saying. And so a lot of things that other licensees may not have to worry about in their home state. We have to like play Inspector Gadget and fine tooth comb it to make sure that our people are protected. Um, I had a lady that's doing post with me right now, and she's licensed in New York and New Jersey.
Mhm.
Well, New York is just
I heard that's a completely different world
I don't even
with
like when
license. Yeah.
we're talking, I'm like, girl, I'm so confused. What are you even saying? Um, but even if you get to New Jersey are different. But one of the things I do like about those states, especially New Jersey, is that in Jersey they have attorneys that do pretty much everything.
Hmm.
So like me and you will go find properties for our buyers and then well, I'll go find a property, you have the listing and I send you an offer, your buyer and seller negotiate it out, and then it goes to attorneys.
Hmm.
And the buyer has an attorney and the seller has an attorney. And then they talk about all the things and all the stuff.
Hmm.
And then the buyer gets an inspection. And then the attorneys look over the inspection report and they actually are the ones who go over with the client. And then attorney to attorney, they decide, oh, this is what we want to do, this is what we don't want to do. And then the broker comes back in later, like for it to close. Um,
Hmm.
I think that's it. I like the fact they have attorneys up front, but I would like to have more. I don't want to say control because we don't control nothing. We do what they say. Follow their lawful
Sure.
instructions. Um, but I like that we are more involved in the transaction
Sure.
here. But having an attorney that looked at the inspection report that said what needs to be done and help negotiate repairs, placements, or money off would relieve so much stress because most of what 35% of transactions fall apart in that due diligence period where we're negotiating for repair based off of repairs
Sure.
or appraisals. And so the attorneys take care of that up there, which is kind of cool, but also what am I getting paid for a little bit? Sorry, New
Yeah.
Jersey, if you're listening.
Yeah,
So
I have mixed feelings on that as well. And it seems like it would potentially be more expensive for the client as well. I feel like the attorneys here are relatively inexpensive for what they do.
they
Um,
are. And again, our attorneys here aren't really involved in the transaction
yeah,
process as much as they are with making sure that, the legal side of things is done appropriately so that so that the buyer is protected once they close. But we still have to stay on top of the attorney, like, hey, don't forget about this part of the contract. Hey, this is in the contract. Hey, don't forget.
yeah,
And oh, they didn't get it done. Can you hold back funds to make sure that my buyer gets their new roof or gets the new HVAC system, whatever. So other things, I enjoy learning about other states, and it makes me appreciate ours more in the way that we do
sure.
things. I think we do it right.
No, no bias whatsoever. Just
Mm,
no.
mm-mm, mm-mm. But listen, Daniel. So now that you are full broker,
Yes.
you'll be vroom vroom on a motorcycle, no longer on a trike. Um, what are some things that are different now? Do you know, like, what are a couple of things that are different now that you don't have the P on your B?
Well, I have a little bit more freedom in both a good and bad way. Um, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still, because I'm inside of a firm that I'm not the broker in charge of, I
Mm-hmm.
do have a broker in charge, and I can do a significant amount of damage to their license as well.
And
But
everybody else at the firm.
and everybody else. Um, but it is slightly less. Like you said, the training wheels are off. So there's certainly some situations where um, there was an assumed amount of oversight from the broker in charge whenever I was putting any paperwork through or doing any part of a transaction that isn't necessarily there now, which is both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cracking up because you said an assumed amount of supervision because it's supposed to be total.
Well, right.
Ah, but that's funny because all brokerages are not created equal. They are not all the same, and so,
No,
but
right.
yes, okay.
Um, Outside of that, I mean, it is because of the way North Carolina does it. There's not. I think the actual change is now the CMAs that I do. I can
Mhm.
technically charge for.
You
Um,
can, gonna get paid legally,
I think like funny enough, I think that's about the biggest like actual financial difference, other
uh,
than I get to
uh-huh.
keep my license, which that could be a significant financial difference
Oh,
if I lost my license. So
but there's a couple people who might have a problem with it. We would be one.
you're right. Um, But yeah, it was funny because I was thinking to myself like, oh, why would I charge for a CMA? Like, if I'm not having that kind of a conversation with somebody anyway, that I would be willing to do it as a hey, this is why you should hire me, or if you were thinking about it, this
Mm-hmm. It's fair.
more information to think about. But I guess there are situations where like a bank has foreclosed on a house and they're just like, hey, we need a CMA for this house. We'll pay you $100 or something like that.
Mhm.
So there are situations where you can make some Uber money, some, you know, DoorDash, whatever.
There's and sometimes people will call you and they're like, "Look, I don't want to put my house on the market. I'm just trying, or we don't want to put the house on the market, but we're just trying to see what would it be worth because maybe we're trying to get excuse me, a home equity
Mhm.
loan. Can you do a CMA for us, or something like that? Where they're like, we're not gonna hire you. We're not even going down that path. But let me get you to take a couple hours of your time to tell me what my property could be worth today, if we were to sell it. And in that case, yeah, because you're not going to earn money on the back end. You're not going to be their agent in the foreseeable future. So
Sure.
Doing it that way makes sense. Now, there's another thing I want to bring up about having to pay off your D, which
Oh,
hopefully this won't affect you, but it has affected another firm.
oh
Um,
no.
I'll tell you offline who it was. Um, their qualifying broker.
Okay.
So
Yep.
roles of a real estate entity, qualifying broker is the only role that is required. That is the role that's required to communicate with the real estate commission. Most of our larger firms, well, if you want to affiliate more than one broker or um do any type of advertising, you must have another role, which is a broker in charge. Now, the same person can fill both roles. Many times they don't. It doesn't matter. It depends on your firm. Now, the qualifying broker has the only responsibility of communicating with the real estate commission. They renew the firm license, they hold the pocket card, they let the commission know, hey, we changed our name, location, blah, 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 blah. If the qualifying broker fails to renew their own personal license
Mhm.
or the firm's license, the firm gets shut down. Shut them down, shut them
Mhm.
down. If said firm is shut down,
Oh.
all provisional brokers go home. Good day, so you lose, you get nothing
Oh.
because their license is immediately inactive.
Sure.
All full brokers are now active at home, so you don't have to shut it down.
Mhm.
Shut it down. You get to continue on life as, business as usual from your house to an extent because if you don't have a big or you're not big, that's a little something else. But you don't have to stop having conversations about real estate, especially with people that you've already been in a relationship with. While the PBs, they can't have any more real estate conversations with those people, even though they signed an agreement on behalf of the firm, last week. Well, we're shut down today, so sorry, I can't talk to you because I'm not active. So
Mm.
as a PB, I mean, as a full broker, you ain't got to worry about that because your license will always be active so long as you stay current and up to date on your education,
Yay.
which this year you got to do. We just had that conversation, fam. But
It's
yeah,
all
that's one good thing. So active at home.
good.
Another good thing about being full broker is if you decide, you know what, real estate's not for me. I just need to like take a pause for a second, or sometimes life be life,
Oh yeah. You
and
can be hit by a
maybe
bus and not fatally.
well, don't be so.
And it can happen. I've been to Durham. I've been
Uh-huh.
there. They have malls with cars that drive through them. What the
Huh?
hell are they thinking?
A mall with a
South Point.
nuh-uh.
People
Yeah,
choose to
maybe.
drive through that mall. They're idiots. not
I
not
can't.
Durham, just the people that drive through because you
People
can
that
go
drive through.
around. But they give you the choice. Do you want to drive through the people or do you want to drive around the people? And a lot of people go, "Oh, yeah, I just want to drive through the people. That makes sense." I have met
I
them.
would
They
lose my
don't.
mind.
But
But
anyway.
let me life, and sometimes you need to take a break. And so, as full broker, if you're not affiliated with a broker in charge, you can make referrals and get paid for them.
Hmm.
And you can work with unsolicited buyers. So people who knew you were licensed, they can be like, yo, Bod, Beard, Miller, can you help me buy a house? Yes, I can. Let's go. But if you were not a full broker, you can't do anything because you must be affiliated. So there's a couple things you can do as full broker. It does give you more space, more room. Now, you kind of you didn't go like speed racer go, like immediately you got your license and then you immediately were like, I want all three of my posts done. No.
I kind of middle grounded it, I think.
Hmm?
I've run into so many people where like they're literally doing their 303 with days or hours to spare. So I have a couple months to spare.
Hmm. Look, this summer I taught, I don't know, several classes between May and September.
Yeah.
There were at least five people who had gone past their 18 months
Oh
and
no.
had to take all three posts again. Or
Mhm.
didn't pay their $45 and they were almost at go back to pre-licensing again, and they had to take all three post-license classes. So yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I know I'm doing a class now with a lady who there's a lady in my class now who um she just missed her 18 months on January 16th or something like that.
Mm.
So I'm like, girl. So that's fun. It ain't fun. So what do you think? So give me some pros and cons, or what do you think would probably be the what would you suggest for someone who's newly licensed? Do you think they should just go speed race or go? Should they take a little time? Should they,
Yeah.
try to do some transactions? What do you think?
I'm glad you asked me that because I was actually thinking about that exact question, like which route is the best one to go? And
Mhm.
I finite conclusion, it depends. It's like in my case, I
In
honestly,
every case, it depends.
yeah, I there have been there. I'm not gonna say there's not been many. There have been quite a few things in my life that I've done wrong, like just blatantly, stupidly wrong. And there's some things that I've nailed. Um, I feel like how I did my license, like getting the P off my B, was actually right for me.
Hmm.
Now, the factors why that was right for me.
Okay.
Um, so as I was finishing the class, like whenever you're doing pre-licensing, it's a study to pass the test. Just kind of like the end of course grading through high school, where it's I'm
Mhm.
trying to pass, I'm trying to pass. It's not like whenever you transition over to college and you're actually
Yeah.
trying to learn for the sake of learning.
Hmm.
So I think had I gone straight in to my post classes myself, the way I think, I would have been in that same like, oh, I'm just trying to pass the test mentality.
Hmm.
Because I'm at a firm that does allow for much more learning. We do have a very active broker in charge, and just staff in general, and other agents that honestly, like, I probably learn more from the other agents than anyone else. I was able to just kind of like have the okay, well, the state says that you can swim and get thrown into the water. Um, and as much as it does feel that way, and it is kind of that way, um, I at all times had the backing that I could text or call or knock on somebody's door and be like, hey, so I just ran into this thing that I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure is a thing. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
So then having some experiences, I think I was probably about 5 or 6 transactions in whenever I first started the post process. Um, I was much more able to relate with the course
Mhm.
material than I was whenever I was doing the pre. So I feel like that helped out quite a bit. Um, and then I actually had a couple transactions happening during the post, which
Mhm.
I've run into some agents that are like, oh, I'm not going to do any transactions until I finish my post. And I understand because it does, in a way, you feel like you're doing a disservice to your clients. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But as long as you surround yourself with people that do know what you're doing
Mhm.
and you're humble enough to go ask.
Help
Uh,
me.
exactly. Like, even whenever you're 98% sure, you're like, let me just shoot this text message real quick. Hey, I know this is going to sound stupid,
Mhm.
but I haven't run into this situation before.
Mhm.
Am I doing the right thing? It's, you know, um, I feel like as long as you're willing to swallow your pride, it is better to just go ahead and dive in and start seeing the real world examples, because those real world examples, holy crap. Like, I heard that every transaction's different,
Mhm.
but they're really different. Like, some of the stuff that you're like, oh man, that's going to be the most easy peasy thing in the world, and it ends up
What's
being
the dad?
yeah, an absolute dumpster fire. And some of the things you're like, man, this one's going to be rough.
And then it's
and
like,
you just sail through. Yeah.
eh.
So for myself personally, with the structure of the firm that I'm with, I feel like that kind of the balancing act really just made the most sense. That being said, I'm not sure if it's the policy of every office. I think I'm a little late getting my post for this office. I think they
So,
want,
oh, maybe for your office.
yeah,
So, each office is different.
yeah, yeah.
I think ours, well, so our office has gone through a couple iterations of what they want.
Mhm.
It was, the commission says, well, way back in the day, it was 3 years. Then it was 2 years. No, it was 3 years, and then it went to 18 months. Yeah, because they just cut it in half. Okay. So it
Yeah.
was 3 years, way, way, way a long time ago. And our office was like, okay, just get it done when the commission says get it done. We've been through, so our office has been through a couple iterations of when they want PBs to get it to finish their post.
Mhm.
Before the commission gave provisional brokers 3 years to go out here and wild out and do all the things.
Terrible idea. But go on.
Yeah. I mean, um, and then they cut it in half and went to 18 months. And when they went to 18 months, I was like, okay, we're gonna keep it there because it was already enough that they chopped it in half. The commission dropped it in half. And then we got some new leadership and they were like, they were, in my opinion, we don't want PBs. So we're gonna make everyone get the P off your B in 3 months.
Sure.
Now, okay, that's cool. But their thought process was we don't want PBs and we don't want any dual career agents. So if you want to work here, you're going to be full time and you're going to be ready to go and you're going to be blah, blah, blah. Okay. But then they realized it's quite realistic for the market because markets shift. And
Mhm.
so then they went to 9 months and I think now they're at 6 months. Um So I say that to say, hey, people, if you're looking for a firm, make sure you ask.
Yeah,
When
sure.
do we have to complete our provisional? When do we have to complete all of our post licensing for the firm? Because your office brokerage firm can be more restrictive than the state license law, which is why ours is now at 6 months. And something else you brought up, Daniel, is um, why you felt comfortable waiting a little bit is based off of how your brokerage operates and the fact that you are in an a learning based environment where the people are also very sharing and very open. Oh, real estate offices are not like that. Um, many real estate offices are like, oh, you done, we gotta fight, and this is mine, and I'm not helping you, and you learn it on your own, you figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know. Besides the fact that every day in real estate is another learning opportunity. Um, so you may find agents who've been like I've been licensed for a long, long time. I learn new stuff every day. Even when license law informs and things are not changing, which they are. Um, I'm still learning because I haven't done all the types of transactions ever. Hey, whoever's in his office. Um, because I haven't done every single type of transaction that could ever be done. I'm still going to learn something. Because even if two transactions were, oh, we're just buying a single family home, the reason for why they're buying the property or selling the property is going to be different. And what's going on with the person or entity that's buying and selling is going to be different. So you still have to navigate personalities and the mood swings because through the transaction, it's going to be like this several times. You're going to see peaks and valleys of the peak and the pit of people multiple times throughout one transaction. And so, are you knowledgeable and confident enough to be the calm in the storm? And a lot of that depends on the office that you've chosen to affiliate with. So yeah, when I took, so I follow rules that make sense,
Sure.
and well, I ain't gonna say I follow. I like to follow rules that make sense. And when they don't make sense, I'm like, why are we doing it this way? Let's figure it. Let's fix it because it's stupid. But I know they say you don't need like post licensing, you can take in any order. When you have the money and the class fits your schedule, go ahead and sign up, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to do them in order 301, 302, 303. And so
Mhm.
I did when I first got license, I signed up for 301. It came up quick, and I was like, I'm gonna take the class. And I was sitting there. Marlis Curry was my instructor. She used to be with Wilson Little. I wonder if she anyway, sorry. Anyway, Miss Marlis taught class at GTCC. And I was just like, first of all, our pre-book was I have a post book because I was just teaching. Pre and post was the pre-book we used to use. This as thick as this post book, right? No, it was
Mhm.
900 and something pages. I don't know how many pages it is. 900 and something pages. And so, oh yeah, it was a little larger than this because it's only 780. And I get in class with my post book, and I was just like, oh God, I gotta do all this again. And 301 is broker relationships and responsibilities. And I was like, this is not what they said in pre. This is not what I learned in pre. And I don't, I don't. I hadn't done any transactions. It was like month two. And I was just like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't get it. And so I passed it because
Mhm.
nobody, like, why would you fail? That's dumb. And then I got some transactions under my belt and I retook 301. I was like, this makes sense. Like, I get it now. That's what you mean by agency and dual agency and doesn't like it made so much sense. So I think an argument can be made for both,
Yeah.
but in order to actually understand what you're doing, I think you need at least one, but preferably three transactions before you start a post licensing class because of the way you said in the beginning. Like it's high school. I'm taking this test. I'm in school. I'm taking this stuff just so I can pass and I
Yeah.
can graduate versus let me learn what I'm doing. Let me understand and comprehend all of this stuff. So like I
All
took a
right.
long time to have that home. But yeah.
And you still, let's be fair. There's a couple things out there where it just doesn't make sense anyway. But um, it's normally forms related to like, okay, why do four forms have the exact same things on them, but they decide to put them in different order, even though they're made by the exact same people? Um, and I know that's not NCRAC, that's the Realtors Association, but still, Realtors Association.
What y'all doing?
Exactly.
What are y'all doing? I I think but yeah, I think that it depends on you. Depends is the best answer for all real estate questions. It depends. But if you want to understand the information, having a transaction or two under your belt will help you comprehend and make sense. Found that the people who have the hardest time with post licensing are those who are licensed in another state
Mhm.
because they can't make North Carolina work for what they've been doing for however many years they've been licensed. And that's been really hard for them. Um, and then pre people, when they come in like straight out of pre, their 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 comprehension level is they want it to make sense to have it made sense in pre, but the way that we teach for
Mhm.
pre is completely different from what we do in post.
Yep.
Because it is more about can you answer the questions? Can do you know enough of the information to answer the question that the state is asking so that you can get to the right answer versus, hey, same information, but let's make it relatable for how to interact with the customers, clients, and your brokerage so that you are staying compliant and not violate anybody's license law rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, then you congratulations.
Well, thank you. And shout out to you. I had a really great teacher. With some help of your friends and my friends too,
Mhm.
technically. I had Jason a couple times as well. So y'all did a
Yeah.
phenomenal job.
Wait, thank you. Edify RE if anybody's looking for some glasses. Come on.
Right.
Ugh.
I would
But
highly
so
suggest them.
Please do. Like the way that we operate, like pre-license minimum 75 hours. It is what it is. 80, really, y'all, if you want the truth, you need to be in class for 120 hours of pre-licensing. But nobody wants to do that. They were like, it takes too long. And it's so that we don't have to just rush, rush, rush. And 120 hours will give us enough time to like answer your questions, make you not feel so anxious. But y'all impatient. Y'all be like, eh. So yeah. But post licensing, no matter where you go, the state has 30 hours that we have to teach. And so my thing is, look, we got to be here the same number of hours anyway.
Mhm.
So why not make it fun? Why not make it interactive so that, you enjoy the time that we're here? Because if you just want to be bored, you can go do a self-paced class and read it on your when you want to. Just you can do that at house. You don't need me for that. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Anywho, yay!
So
Again,
yeah,
congratulations. Oh wait, where's my? I need some rockets or something to be like. You got the P off his beat with my congratulations.
nice. I need like a tiara or something.
You do. Oh, I
I
don't look in your thing. I bet they have
was
one. I
supposed
bet
to
there's
say
a.
I have so much stuff around. I sadly no, I have a Star Wars helmet. I I bottles of liquor.
Oh,
But
that's probably what you really need most is a
that's
bottle or two.
yeah.
It's so silly. Um, look, I'm so happy you shared about getting your license, getting your full brokerhood.
Yep.
That's so good, Daniel. Um, and so yeah. Do you have any questions, comments, or anything else you want to tell the people that need to know about getting the P off their B?
Um, really, I think it really is just what we discussed on it. That um, you know, let's digress to like what you said. You've been doing this for so many years, but you still learn something
Heck yeah.
every transaction, or even like every other person's transaction. Like you don't even have to be part of that transaction.
Mm-mm.
So I think I have seen, because again, I did support for years with real estate
Mm-hmm.
agents. So many were just really scared before they dropped that P off of there to, I'm not qualified to help this client. And I, I feel like if you really go with that mentality, that you're never qualified. Um, uh, and on the brighter side, if you do feel that way, then you are the type that's actually qualified to do it. Just make sure to surround yourself with people that you're comfortable asking for help from.
I agree. Good job. I like that. Um, you said something. I was like, oh, I have a point to make, but ADHD is over.
It's that
Yeah,
years. It's because
that's what I'm old. The shade of it all. Oh, you got me an old lady. Oh, grandma. Um, yeah, I agree. I think you know where you decide to hang your license matters.
yes,
Um, and I want every broker and every North Carolina broker to know that where you start out is not where you have to stay.
no.
Interview everyone. I went
Hmm.
on 11 interviews before I actually signed my name on anybody's dotted line. And my third interview was the firm that I chose. And after that interview, I was like comparing everybody to them. I was like, oh, wait, but do y'all do that? Do you offer that? Okay. And they were like, no, no, It's like, okay, thanks. And what's funny is I knew, which I don't care if y'all know now, I I met a man named Mel Creeksman. And I was like, oh, I need to work there. And I just knew when I got my license, I was gonna go work for Little Mel Creeksman. He is like the size of this pen. And I was like, I'm gonna go work for Little Mel Creeksman and I'm gonna learn everything and it's gonna be amazing. And then I interviewed some other places and I was just like, why did I think that was what I needed? Like,
Hmm.
but you don't know what you don't know,
Sure.
which is why I say, Interview everywhere, ask all the questions, and know that you are in the driver's seat. That firm, that brokerage, that sole proprietorship, they're gonna operate with or without you.
Yep.
You need to figure out if that company culture matches your culture. And whatever's important for you, if it's not found there, change it for you. But it's not. They were not created for you. They do not care about you, essentially. So you need to go find another place that's gonna work for you. And nothing is perfect.
Yep.
The way that I think of our office, our firm, is it's like your extended family.
Hmm.
And I know I got some cousins who listen. I got cousins in my phone. One cousin specifically that I text dang near every day. There's only one of those. And then I have one cousin, if you text me, I'm be like, no, I'm not even calling you back. Like, what do you want from me? And we only speak when we're in the same place at a funeral or a family reunion, but probably not family reunions because they don't go, but at a funeral or something like that, or like holidays.
Hmm.
It's like, what's up? And that's it, keep it moving. And then there's some people in my family, I'm like, I don't never need to speak to you. And that's okay. And it's just like that at the office because they're not here to be your best friends. You are
Yeah.
here to do work. It's just that in real estate, professional and the personal blur because we get into so many people's personal business while we're doing our business.
Yeah.
People buy houses for personal reasons. They're having a baby. They got a new job. Their parents are moving in. Somebody passed away. They're moving to a new state. So there's the lines get blurred a lot.
Yep.
But if they're not your best friend, that's okay. So what? Talk to somebody else who you do like. Ta-da! There's that.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. But yeah.
So
So we didn't even say who we were. We just started. This
we
is no
did.
really. We didn't even
We
do it.
did a little bit. I mean, we did the hello, but yes, you're right. We did skip the actual like no.
Really? No.
No, really? The podcast where the real estate gets real.
I feel like I should. Every time we do this, I feel like I want to go watch an episode of The Real World.
Right.
New York, like one of the old ones.
That is one
Anyway,
of the old ones.
so Daniel, never mind. Let's end this so I can start talking
I
about.
was about to say, hold up, let's stop the recording here. Y'all take care. I hope you let's close this thing out fully. So this has been
Really?
the podcast where
For
or
the real
yeah, the podcast where the real estate gets
real
real.
estate, it's real.
You guys get it by this point. Or you don't, whichever.
That's who we are.
Bye all.
Bye, guys.